But extracting on this scale is a complex, resource-heavy process that requires vast quantities of the desert's most precious commodity. Water. Behind this barbed wire is one of the biggest pumping stations on Earth, extracting subterranean water from the Great Artesian Basin. The water is used for industrial purposes, but every week billions of liters are drawn from the basin, prompting fears this finite resource is being depleted to the detriment of all. But not all mining in the desert happens on an industrial scale. And sometimes it's accidents of fate that yield the most handsome profits. In 1915, a thirsty teenager named Willie Hutchison was wandering the bush in search of water. What Willie found changed his life forever. A new chapter in the story of the Outback began. Today, on that spot where Willie found treasure, stands Coober Pedy, a thriving town and a melting pot of cultures, where everyone shares a common passion, the love of the opal. Coober Pedy has a quirky charm that's made it a popular location for a number of Hollywood films, remnants of which still dot the landscape. It's a searingly hot place to live. In the height of summer, temperatures can top 50 degrees Celsius. But the residents have found a unique way to escape the heat. Many shops, churches, restaurants and houses are built underground. The streetscape is lined with doorways carved in the rock. Coober Pedy is a town of cave dwellers who are resilient and proud of their unique way of life.
When you build your own home from scratch, it gives you a satisfying feeling. You've got to know a bit about everything. You've got to be a builder, carpenter, welder, all sorts of stuff. But when you actually live inside the place that you built, it gives you a real good feeling.
Inside his man-made vault, Philip Lewis has an opal workshop. Trading these precious gems is how he makes a living. Once cut and polished, Philip's opals will be made into jewelry. It's a craft that takes as much skill as it took to carve the walls of his home. No matter how scorching it is outside, inside, the temperature is always cool.
It's a feel-good home. It definitely feels very comfortable and easy, and as a home should be. It feels solid and secure.
Like an oasis in the desert might be a good description for it, I think.
Here, the landscape surrounding the edges of town is dotted with mounds, scars left by previous miners. Always hoping to strike it lucky with a new seam of opal, Philip has been mining and sifting the desert rock for over 20 years.
We're out prospecting on Digger's Gully. We're drilling a shaft here to about 30 feet. So the next 2 or 3 sievfuls, if there is opal, should start to come out.
The son of a Welsh collier, Philip knows that though his prospects of striking it rich are slim, it's a better life than his father ever knew.
My father came up here once and he looked around at what I was doing and he said he'd like to have his life over again and he wouldn't go down a coal mine again. He'd be out here looking for opal.
Today, Coober Pedy is the opal capital of the world. For almost 100 years, miners like Philip have arrived here, addicted to the lure of hidden riches. But lately, he's hit a barren patch.
Yeah, well, it's just like an everyday lottery. You're hopeful that there's a bit of colour that comes out that gets you all excited and fires you up for the next couple of shafts.
Across the world, precious opal is exceptionally rare. It's been 70 million years in the making. Long ago, inland Australia was covered by ocean. Over time, as the seas receded, silica-rich liquid gathered in cracks and hardened to become opal. Today, Philip is hoping luck will be on his side. In temperatures topping 40 degrees, he's digging test holes, looking for valuable seams in the rock. Opal fever has a hold on him.
You get up in the morning, you go out prospecting, you never know what you're going to find. I could drill up a big piece of opal that could be worth thousands, any shaft, any time. I love being out here looking for it. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack, and you get such a buzz when you do actually drill up a bit of colour. You get very excited, and there's nothing like it.
Every treasure strike leaves a hole in the ground. But for miners preoccupied with prospecting, safety is not always a priority.
I had a fairly major accident in 1982. I was working with a tunnel machine underground and I was just picking out a little bit of opal. It looked pretty good, so I asked my partner to pass me the jack pick, the electric jack pick. And he passed it over, but on the way over he actually accidentally touched the starter button for the cutter head. One of the teeth caught into the back of my shoe, and both my legs got dragged underneath the cutter head, and it pushed me down into the ground, but it also tore away at my legs. So I was pretty well chewed up. I felt my legs, both ankles were badly broken. I knew I'd probably lost one leg. So I asked him for a piece of rope. I tied a tourniquet around my left thigh, and I sat there for about an hour. I'm sorry, I got flown to Adelaide with a flying doctor. I was in hospital for 6 months. And I'll just have to leave it there. So it was hard.
Philip lost his leg and spent more than a year learning to walk again. But as it is with addiction, the hunt for the next hit is hard to give up, and the opal craving only worsens the longer it takes to strike it rich. Philip has set his sights on a dusty trench that he's been prospecting for months, but which has not yet yielded any treasure. He's hoping that today his luck will change. Usually happy to be working alone, Philip has teamed up with fellow miner Ashley, knowing that many hands make light work. Despite his previous dice with death, Philip ventures dangerously close to the digger, searching for something that sparkles. Suddenly, he spots a flash of brilliant blue in the rock face.
Ashley? Hey! Trace?
Yeah, you got me a bit of luck, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
Bloody beauty. Bit tight.
Ooh, sounds good. Look at that, Ashley.
Yeah, it's nice, eh?
Look at that.
Beauty.
It's easy to see why miners like Philip and Ashley hold out for a moment like this. At today's rates, this piece of rock could be worth as much as $400 US.
I've seen pieces of opal the size of loaves of bread. And I'm not joking, they were big pieces.
Knowing a big gem might be just a pick strike away keeps them mining for more.
They call me Lucky, really. It's the excitement of seeing that sort of colour, and it never looks better than when it's in the wall. You know, when you see it and you realise that, you know, 70 million years ago that this stuff was put in the sandstone, and yet it's just so fantastically beautiful. It's a stunning stone, and you just can't. Once you get addicted to it, you can't stop.
Not everyone who comes to the desert is searching for minerals.